we will call the, what is today? October 26th meeting of the Parker Planning Commission to order at 7 p.m. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whoop, sorry. All right, well, thank you. And roll call. Absent is Ruth Ann, and Angela is seated for Ruth Ann. And absent is Eric Franzen, and Eric Rieger is seated for Eric there. All right. So the rest of the commissioners are present. So moving along, are there any additions to or deletions from the agenda?
No, sir, there are not.
Okay. Approval of the minutes. Are there any additions, corrections to the Planning Commission meeting minutes from September 14th, 2023? No? Do we have a motion to approve?
I will motion to approve the meeting minutes of the Parker Planning Commission dated September 14th, 2023.
I will second.
It's been moved by Jane, seconded by Leland, that we approve the Planning Commission meeting minutes from September 14th, 2023, and I will call the question. Nick?
Aye.
Ileana? Eric? Angela?
Aye.
Jane?
Aye.
Leland?
Aye.
Chair is aye. Passes unanimously. All right, next item, number 6, is a public hearing to adopt the Town of Parker, Colorado 3-mile area plan. And we will open the public hearing at 7:02. And we are all yours, Jeremiah.
All right. Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. Jeremiah Feddix. I'll be giving staff's presentation on our annual update of the 3-mile area plan for the Town of Parker. So I'll begin tonight's presentation with just a quick introduction to the 3-mile area plan before going into the changes from 2022. So the town's 3-mile area plan was first drafted and adopted in 2006 to comply with the Municipal Annexation Act of 1965. The plan ensures municipalities can adequately serve newly annexed areas, and it is a statutory requirement to update the plan annually. So what does the plan do? The plan references planning documents from the Town of Parker and nearby jurisdictions. It complies with the requirements of state law. What does the 3-mile area plan not do? So it does not change the town's master plan, modify the adopted Parker planning area, change any of the town's regulations or zoning, or obligate the town to change any of the above. So in the previous slide, I referenced or mentioned that, we look at other jurisdictions and we compile all their planning documents. That's all incorporated into this. So some of those places are Douglas County, Arapahoe County, City of Aurora, City of Centennial. So all of our bordering and adjacent neighbors are included in that list. So to the right is a map of the current town boundary. So you can see some of the aerial photos that come through. So there's some enclaves and some areas within the town boundary that are not annexed. So that's why it shows up like that. So next in the presentation, I'll go through the changes to the maps from 2022. So there were changes to 5 of the 6 maps, and we'll get into those. So map 1 is annexations. So there were 3 annexations, all done by the Town of Parker within 3 miles of the existing town boundary. So those annexations include the Coyle-Perkins annexation, that is 33.4 acres. It's located at the southeast corner of Stroh Road and Crowfoot Valley Road. The second is the Tract Q annexation. That consisted of 20.25 acres. It's located just east of Chambers Road, south of Main Street. And then the final annexation included in this year's update was the Chambers Road annexation. That is 1.092 acres, and it's located Chambers Road and just north of Belford Avenue, south of E470. So revisions to map 2, which is transportation. So we had the Bayou Gulch Road connection. We're just referencing that it's under construction. One that isn't on the map, but we wanted to make note of, is the Chambers Road south of Hess Road is under construction by the developer. So it doesn't show up on the map, just data issues with who's constructing it, but wanted to make note of that. So this year and years past, no changes to the significant waterways map. Changes or updates to map 4, significant parks. So the trails at Crowfoot Community Park is nearing completion. They have probationary acceptance. It is open to the public, so they're on the clock now for the next couple of years to make sure that all their improvements pass inspection before that it's fully taken over by the town. Then revisions to map 5, which is the water, sanitation, and metro districts. There were 3 updates this year. The changes include the addition of the new Chambers High Point Metro District 1 and 2, and then making note of Parker Water and Sanitation District adding 2 properties, future school site for Douglas County, and then the Kime Ranch property was included in their service area. So the final map is map 6, which is county zoning. So there were 3 updates this year, 2 for Douglas County, 1 for Elbert County. So all there along Delbert Road. So the first was agricultural to large rural residential in Douglas County. And the second Douglas County rezoning was agricultural A1 to planned development. Then the final rezoning was Elbert County. They had a rezoning from residential agricultural 1 to residential agriculture 2. And that's, like I said, all there east of Parker along Delbert Road. So in conclusion, adoption of this annual plan satisfies state law, and therefore staff recommends, the Planning Commission recommend Town Council adopt the 2023 3-mile area plan for the town of Parker. Well, it's not clicking, but I will stand for any questions.
Any questions for Jeremiah?
None for me.
Okay. Since this is a public hearing, we open it up to comments from the public. Seeing none, we will, no further questions? All right, then we will close the public hearing at 7:08. Commissioner discussion?
From my perspective, this is just a review. We've looked at it, feels like a very long time. So I'm good with the changes because there's nothing really dramatic. But thank you, Jeremiah. Very well done.
Thank you. Great work, Jeremiah. Thank you.
I'll agree with my other commissioners. I imagine it takes some time to research the changes that have been done in other jurisdictions, and I really appreciate getting those updates. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'd like to just add in there, I agree with my other commissioners. I really appreciate all the work you guys do to work with all of these different organizations to make sure that the town of Parker is covered. So thank you very much. Great job.
Not to sound like a broken record, but I certainly appreciate all the hard work that you did on making these updates to this.
Well, the only question I had was, you said this was an annual, and so every time we do an annexation,
So we just, every year about this time, somewhere
This
between
time?
September, October, yep, it's before Planning Commission, then Town Council for approval and adoption. So yeah, it's not subject to annexations. It's just make sure we comply with the state law.
oh, okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you again, Jeremiah, for your efforts on keeping us up to speed. Do we have a motion?
I move Planning Commission recommend Town Council adopt the 2023 3-mile area plan.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Ileana, seconded by Nick, that Planning Commission recommend Town Council adopt the 2023 3-mile area plan. And I will call the question. Nick?
Aye.
Ileana?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Angela?
Aye.
Jane?
Aye.
Leland.
Aye.
Chair is aye. Passes unanimously. All right. Are there any items for us, Bryce?
No, sir, they're not.
All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I motion we adjourn.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Leland, seconded by Ileana, that we adjourn. So call the question again. Nick?
Aye.
Ileana?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Angela?
Aye.
Jane?
Aye.
Leland?
Aye.
Chair is aye. Good night, all.